Hello, good morning and welcome. This is forexforsteadyprofit.com. I've been asked by Felicity, one of my subscribers, to explain the ratios and also the divergence on the commitment of traders. So I'll go ahead and get that sorted. Just have a look at the commitment of traders chart. Right, so this is the commitment of traders report in its raw form. This comes out barring bank holidays and other things that sometimes catch me out. It's out every week on a Friday about 8:30 GMT, and it shows the positions taken by some of the best traders in the world, and it gives a real insight to their thoughts on the market and their fundamental analysis. Right, so if we look here, this is the Swiss franc, and you get the non-commercials, which are speculators, and then the people I'm interested in are the commercials. And I look at their positions, and I also like to plot them on a graph against the non-commercials because I'm looking for a divergence between the two, where the commercials will be either heavily long or short, and the speculators will be exactly the opposite way round. So if you look at the long position and the short position, there is a ratio between longs to shorts. And in this case, the Swiss franc, on the commercials, they have a long ratio of just over 7-1. So for every 7 contracts they've got out long, they will have 1 contract short. Diversely, on the other side, the non-commercials, the speculators, they have more short contracts than they do long. So there is a divergence between the two, and we will have a look now on the graph to see how that pans out. Okay, so this is the Swiss franc, and this is a graph of the commercials, which are in red, and the speculators, which are in green. And as you see here on the graph, the commercials and the speculators have taken directly opposite positions. And as you can see, the commercials are they're an extreme long position. Now, the positions taken by the commercials, if you have 7 positions long and 1 position short, so there are 7 times as many speculators long as there are shorts, that gives you a 7-1 ratio of longs against shorts. And for the speculators, they have it's about 3-1. So for every 3 contracts they have short, they have 1 contract long. And if you follow the commercials at the moment on the Swiss franc here, this is an extreme bullish position that we have. So if you go back and you have a look at past bullish positions, they've led to these nice moves up. And this one here, nice move up. So by using the commitment of traders report and plotting the positions on the graph, you can get a picture of where positions were historically, and also the consequences of a move by the commercials, long or short. And this gives us a really good indication of what to expect. So now we'll go and have a look at a different chart. This is a divergence calculator. This is available in my members center. Okay, so here we have a divergence calculator. So you can take a currency like the Swiss franc, and you can put in the long and the short positions. These are for the non-commercials, and you get a ratio of 2.72-1 short. And then you do the same for the commercials, and you get a ratio of 7.17 long, which gives you an overall divergence between the two of 9.89, a divergence of 9.89 long. Now that is the most long currency actually on the divergence this week. And if you put that against a currency that is basically short, like the Canadian dollar, that has got a short divergence at 8.82, that gives you, let me just see, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc has got a short divergence of 15.71. So that's an extreme divergence. So by looking at the pairs like this, you can get a much higher probability trade than you could if you were just using the straight currencies. And I do prefer the crosses. The last 3 months they have given much better opportunities, and this is what I've been using in my members centre the last, as I say, 3 months. Okay, well, I hope that has helped a little bit. And you know, when I come to use the candle charts, and you see my commercials ratio and my speculators ratio, you can understand kind of where they've come from. And the other thing to watch, of course, is open interest. You know, just before a currency, if it's overstretched and it's going to fall, open interest often dips, or if it's oversold and you're looking for it to go back up, open interest often goes up just before the rally. So that is another thing to look for. And hope you enjoyed that, and we'll get on with the report for today. Okay, thank you. Cheers. Bye. Hello, good morning, and welcome. It's Wednesday, the 13th of December, and it's just after 9 o'clock. We've got a big day today. We've got the interest rates for America. We've got Mr. Trump speaking. So a little bit of volatility on the US dollar. We've got the in a few minutes we've got the pound, some news out for the pound. So we'll see where that goes. But today I've taken a couple of trades off. It's just given me just a tad over 2% for the month, which I'm fairly happy with for December. But see if I can get some more later on. We've got the first up, the Australian dollar, US dollar. We've had a few days green candles. It's only about 50 pips. I would like to see this go up about another 100 pips before I sell it back down. We are just below the 50 on the RSI, so we'll see where that goes today. Same again, pound, US dollar. I came into profit on both trades yesterday, and I've just had a little bit of a green candle up. So we'll see where that goes. We've got a short ratio of 1.27 to 1. Really, with the dollar today, there's nothing much you can do about it. It's you know, just going to move about a bit. But I think overall, the news today for the dollar will be good. So I will be selling any hikes. USD CAD. We've come up nicely off the bottom here, and the US dollar really is the only currency at the moment that is tightening their policies. So the US dollar really is long over everything else apart from the Japanese yen. We've got a commercial ratio here short the Canadian dollar of 2.43 to 1. I do see this pair going quite a lot higher. So we're above the 50 on the RSI, which is a good starting point, and I think we'll see more strength unfold for it today. Euro, US dollar, I expect more weakness today. We've got a short ratio of 1.65 to 1 for the euro. That's a 5-year extreme. We are below the 50 on the RSI, which is bearish, and I'm just looking for this to continue on down. USD JPY, I think today we might see this reach up to about the 114 level. Um, we've got a commercial short ratio of 4.14 to 1, which is reduced from last week. So we'll see where this goes, but it'll be interesting. If it does approach the blue line up here, I would see that as a good selling opportunity. We have in fact crossed my trend line, but I wouldn't be selling this back today. I think I'd wait a while on that. USD Swiss franc. Same thing. I think we might see this reach highs today. We have a commercial long ratio for the Swiss franc of 5.7 to 1, and we are actually above the 50 on the RSI. So, any rally on this pair I see as a sell. So, that's where I feel about this. Um, Same thing on the New Zealand dollar. I am not trading this. The commitment of traders are long for this pair. So I've put my trend line up. We might see a dip today, but we'll see basically where that goes. Silver. We are below the 30.9. As far as I'm concerned, this is really bearish for silver. And if we get a lot of dollar strength today, we will see this increase. I believe no, this is support. I got out of this trade about where it is at the moment. So I might just get back in. We'll see. I was looking for a little bit of a spike up before I got back in, but we'll see where it goes. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. I'm afraid a little bit in the lap of the gods today. We're just all reliant on the news out of America. So we can take a guess. I believe it will be good news for the dollar, but you might get a little bit of bad news before, and get knocked out. Just depends where your stops are. Just be careful. Okay, thank you all for watching. Cheers now. Bye.